Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. In today's episode, I want to call BS. BS on the reason why you haven't achieved exactly what you're looking for in your life today when it comes to your financial goals, when it comes to your personal goals, when it comes to your relationship goals. Yeah, it's just a bunch of BS. And what I mean by that is that the BS might not be exactly what you think I'm implying when I say that. A lot of times we will hear that in just basic, some basic conversation. So today I want to call out your BS. And what I mean by that is it's your beliefs and your stories. Your beliefs and your stories. That's what's keeping you from achieving your goals, your dreams, your status that you currently are striving to get. Every decision that you make, every idea that you have, everything is ran through your BS filter. That's what I want to call it, your BS filter. It's your beliefs and your stories that are impacting the way you make decisions, the way you take action, and we all have it. We all have them. And it's your ability to recognize those stories and those beliefs is going to be crucial for you to be able to take different action as you move forward and achieve bigger, better things as you move forward. So let me give you an example of what I mean. And I'm just going to use myself as an example and see if this doesn't resonate with you. And let me start with a quick story. So as I was growing up, my father instilled the belief in me that I needed to go to work. I needed to work hard, ideally for the same company from beginning to end, which is basically what he had committed his life to doing. And he thought that that was going to be the best way to achieve freedom, I guess, or at least to achieve a good lifestyle. At least that's what he felt was going to be great for him. And so that's basically what I did. I took that advice. I wasn't necessarily very good in school, but I could work hard. I went to work for a retail company, worked my way up the chain of command into a management position, continued to work very hard every day, showing up, doing what was required. But what happened was that the company started to struggle. This was back in 2007, back when the last major economic crisis was going on in our economy. And the company was deciding to let folks go, close stores. I happened to be caught up in that closure. And I realized really quickly that my belief of thinking I was going to stay with the same company for beginning to end of my career, because I had started with this company back when I was in high school. And at this point, this part of the story was I was in my 30s. So I was 20 years into the process of understanding or believing that that was going to be the best way to go. The ironic thing was for my father too, is that he had spent well over 20 years of his working career for the same company. And he actually got let go. He was actually fired from the company, and he was in his 50s, if I'm not mistaken. He struggled. He didn't know what he was going to do. The point being is that the belief that we both carried, that we needed to go to work hard for the same company, was not necessarily serving us. And it didn't serve us at the end of the day, because those companies, or that company, ended up letting us go. So that was a filter, a belief filter, that was keeping me from looking for other opportunities. that was keeping me from trying to get myself educated on the current situations of the systems, learning how to make money versus learning how to earn money. I believe that folks interchangeably use that word as far as making money, in terms of understanding the difference between making money. To me, making money is when you provide a product or service to the marketplace, and in an exchange of a sale, you receive currency, dollars back. That to me is making money. Going to work and trading your time for dollars is earning money. So I would encourage you to just shift your ideas and your mindset in terms of those two different terms. That would be a belief. Here's a story that I've had. So this is a filter I'm working diligently on every day. The story for me is that I have to continue to play small in terms of my life, my decisions, what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm pushing myself every day to break through that story. So why do I have that story? As I was growing up, and I can vividly remember back, it was kindergarten, maybe first grade. I don't remember exactly, but that time frame, you can imagine, just being bullied. And I know a lot of times that is kind of a term that gets thrown around these days, with a lot of folks claiming that they are and have been bullied. And I'm not saying that those things aren't happening, but I don't want to make it sound like I was, beat to a pulp or anything major on a playground. But basically, it was just being made fun of to the point where I just felt small. I didn't feel like I was adequate enough to be in the group. I remember the young boy's name was Billy, and uh, I just wanted to be his friend. I just wanted him to be my friend. And I can remember him basically making fun of me completely on the playground around some other guys, for no reason, just because. I mean, when you think back to it, I mean, when you're kids, I mean, who knows why we do or did some of the things we did, but unfortunately, it impacted me in a very negative way. Fast forward a few years later, into what it was when I was playing Little League. Um, so probably maybe 10, 11 years old, maybe. I'm thinking probably, fourth, fifth grade, something like that. I can remember another instance where a kid was making fun of me from the dugout. I was pretty good in sports. I was a pretty good athlete. And so what would happen was is that anytime I would start to show some ability, the guys that were on the team would tear me down, to the point where then I would start to play small, not to my capabilities, because of my wanting to fit in, my wanting to be liked, my wanting to be loved. It's kept me small, playing small for many years growing forward. To continue on with that story, my dad, I always tried to live up to his expectations. And unfortunately, I was always falling short, which has led me to then continue to believe and run the story in my mind of playing small. So even moving forward into today, I catch myself. So here's the secret, or at least it's been that way for me. I'm just going to use my own experience, is that I've been able to start to catch myself. So once you begin to become aware of your BS filter, your beliefs and your stories, you start to think about them and you start to recognize them when they show up. So lately for me, for example, I've been trying to get myself into bigger rooms. And when I see bigger rooms, I mean folks that are achieving at a higher level than I've ever dreamt possible for myself. And when I do that, these stories start to come up into my mind and I start to play small. When I do that, I start to talk small. I start to play myself down, like I can't do certain things, like I'm less than. Uh, you probably get the picture. I'm working very hard to not let that continue. It's one of the most difficult things that I've had to try to combat. But what I am sharing that, or why I'm sharing that with you, is that you need to start with understanding that your BS filter, your beliefs and your stories, are what are keeping you from achieving whatever it is that you want in your life. So, what are your beliefs? What are your stories? We are all unique. We all have unique experiences. Uh, I can't sit here unless you were sitting here with me face to face and we could have a conversation to determine what possibly some of your BS filters are keeping you from achieving the things that you're looking for. But if you do some self reflection, do some journaling. One thing I do every day is I journal every morning, journal, and it helps me kind of clear my head, get my ideas, the things I'm thinking about out on paper, helps me think a little bit more clearly. Maybe that's something that you can try. If you can find somebody to confide in, if I'm somebody that you would be willing or wanting to have a discussion with, I'd be willing to try that as well. But the idea is that you need to become aware of what these are, so that way you can begin to consciously take control of them instead of letting them control you and your ideas, your decisions, which then impact your actions, which is going to then impact the results that you get at the end of the day. So to recap, I just want to call BS on why you're not getting the things that you're wanting to achieve in your life, and realize that it's your beliefs and your stories, the programming that you've been fed since you were a very young individual, that's keeping you from achieving the greatness that you desire in your life. So go out there today, dig deep, think through it, try to figure out what yours are that are keeping you from achieving what you're looking for. And I promise you, if you can do that, you can then start to take control of it. And once you get control, you can then start to make different actions, take actions in spite of having those feelings, those doubts, those worries, those fears. And when you do that, you're going to start stepping into what you're really meant to be here on earth. So have a fantastic day. I hope that message serves you, and we will dive deeper into those beliefs and those stories as we continue on here in the podcast. So have a fantastic day. I look forward to connecting with you all very soon. Until next time, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.